If you've been paying attention to Donald Trump's time in office since he got back in at the start of this year, you have seen so many examples of overreach, of him crossing the line and really trying to, push the barriers on what it is that he can and can't do, especially in line with the American Constitution. In this video, we're going to see a young British student absolutely go in, destroy and shred Donald Trump for his complete overreach, all while doing it in front of Charlie Kirk's face. As usual, let's watch the video in full. I'm going to give you guys my thoughts towards the end.
This House believes that Trump has gone too far. Trump has tanked the American economy with a $2.4 trillion deficit. But side opposition will tell you that Trump has not gone too far. Trump is gutting the global economy, but their side will tell you that Trump has not gone too far. Trump has ruined NATO, Trump has slashed global aid, Trump has all but abolished the rule of law, but the opposition will still tell you that he has not gone too far. Trump has deported American citizens to camps without fair trial, but the opposition will still tell you he has not gone too far. Trump's budget will deny 14 million American citizens healthcare. Would 15 million be too far? Would 30? This is just year one. But no, still the opposition will tell you Trump has not gone too far. Trump is intent on relegating women to second-class citizens. Trump wants to end free speech as we know it. He is bankrolling Israel's Gaza genocide, and he's cozied up to Putin while throwing Ukraine under the bus. And Trump single-handedly has set the history profession back God knows how many years by proving the great man theory of history right, as the single most destructive individual of the 21st century. But no, Trump hasn't gone too far. The noble Charlie Kirk will tell you Trump is not ambitious. If it was so, it is a grievous fault, and grievously has Trump answered it. I speak not to disprove what Kirk will say, but I am here to speak what I do know. Many Americans voted for Trump, and not without cause. America is in crisis. It is a democracy dictated by corporate interests, by disillusionment and disarray. But Trump is not the solution. In only 100 days, he has not only gone too far, he has taken steps to fundamentally unravel the Constitution of the Founding Fathers, paralyze the courts, and send the world lurching towards financial ruin. He has slashed US aid by 62%, leaving key humanitarian operations in Somalia, Haiti, and Myanmar adrift. At 3.8%, Trump has about as much hope of controlling inflation levels as he does trying to rein in his own inflated ego. In only 100 days, the Trump's family's net worth has increased $3 billion. That's about $1 billion a month since the time he took office. In that same amount of time, Trump has only signed 5 bills into law, marking the single worst performance to a start of a president's term in more than a century. The only thing that Trump has not gone quite far enough in is fashion. If you're going to use the fascist playbook, you might at least get Hugo Boss to design your MAGA hats. Madam President, thank you for the incredible honor of speaking in this debate tonight. I'm glad to see you hosting a debate on a president that has gone too far. Although you yourself haven't tried to force through rules reforms in the House, appoint over 50 of your friends to committee as Nepo babies, or strike half of the union's electoral officials, which, in my opinion, shows that you clearly haven't gone far enough. That being said, you still have over 4 weeks left in office, and I'm incredibly excited to see where you will go from here. On a more serious note, I'm excited and happy to see that members of the union, unlike our counterparts in America, are more comfortable with electing a highly qualified woman to the most senior office in this society. I hope that any American friends in the audience tonight are taking notes.
So look, like, a lot of the things that it is that she just said there are 100% truth. Sorry, all of them are 100% truth. But I just want to touch on some of the things that she spoke about in terms of Donald Trump and actually hurting the American economy. Look, without a shadow of a doubt, Donald Trump has been worse for America than he's been better. But unfortunately, a lot of people don't like to do the right research that they need to be able to know and understand the facts of where it is that things are. Now, some of the things that it is that we can discuss and we can speak about is some of the talking points I want to take you guys through right now. So, the tariffs that was imposed in April this year are projected to reduce US long-run GDP by about 6%, and average wages by about 5%, with the average middle-income family facing a lifetime loss of $22,000. These are impacts that are damaging and are an equivalent increase in the corporate tax rate, leading most future American households to be financially worse off. Now, rising prices and lower household incomes, tariffs are causing higher prices on household goods, and they're shrinking real-time incomes and increasing supply chain costs for American businesses. Now, if you have been paying attention, you will see that a lot of Republicans have been trying to hide from their constituents simply because they don't want to face them and confront them. Reason being is because stupid things like the big beautiful bill, but we know it's the big awful bill that Donald Trump really pushed through and made his Republican, lapdogs push through. Things like that have really hurt the Americans. And you can see it because when these people finally do crawl from underneath a rock and then they actually go and do an actual town hall, they're getting shredded. They are getting absolutely destroyed by their constituents. And so be it. This is exactly what needs to happen. Now, even if we take a look at things like job growth, there's been a steep decline in job growth and economic slowdown, so much to the point that when the individual who's in charge of releasing the numbers about job growth released them, I actually believe Donald Trump went ahead and got her sacked. And guess what? He's brought his own people in to release job numbers. But the reality is we know that those numbers aren't going to be real, aren't going to be correct, and they're not going to be true. This is what happens when you have an individual like Donald Trump, who Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, and multiple people said is going to be a harm to the American people and to the American economy. So it's absolutely no surprise whatsoever that Donald Trump is now going to be bringing in his own individual to be able to spread his lies on his behalf, and there's nothing the American people can do about it. Multiple people told the American, public that Donald Trump was going to be a harm to them. He wasn't going to be good for them, and he wasn't going to help them in anything that it is that they needed to be done. Multiple people said it, but a lot of people didn't want to pay attention. And they voted for Donald Trump simply because they believed that Donald Trump was going to do all of these things that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris couldn't. But guess what? Things have only got worse. Donald Trump has gone way too far. He's harming the American economy. Not only is he harming the American economy, he's also pushing the barriers and really trying to, get into murky waters when it comes to something like the Constitution. Let me know your guys' thoughts on this clip in the comment section down below. I always want to hear your guys' opinion. While you're down there, hit that subscribe button and give the video a thumbs up. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video.